Well, good evening, everybody. This is Mert Witness 1, William K. Murtathon, welcoming you to another live stream. And I had forgotten to turn my audio on again, but that's me. We get kind of forgetful in our old age. So, how's everybody doing tonight? It's been kind of an interesting day. Game Fresh, hoorah! Okay, sounds like we've got a Marine in the house, or at least somebody with a military background. So, I drink to my military friends. So we're at 8 people. I'm going to let things build up just a hair. Because what I want to do is try and get this off to a uniform start. Normally when I do my mobile-thons, I don't need to sit here and start off too much. We got 8 concurrent viewers. Thanks for the likes, by the way. The Corona bill was signed into law by President Trump this afternoon, so now we just wait and see what we're going to do as far as getting the results of the legislation. As far as the $1,200, I suppose that's going to depend on how fast the Internal Revenue Service can roll out, and also how soon these things can get to all of us who are qualified anyway. It's kind of marginal with me. I'm on Social Security, so I've been told that if I file a tax return because of my Social Security, even though it's exempt and everything, I should be able to get the money. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just to see if I get it. Other than that, I'm not really affected, although shopping is a little bit unusual. Today, went shopping. Walmart here in Apopka, Florida, has a quota system. They will allow you 1 gallon of milk, 1 gallon of orange juice, 1 gallon of tea, 1 unit of toilet paper. The only problem is there's no toilet paper. So, and there's certain items that there's no limit on. So what I did is I gassed up at Sam's like I normally do. Went into Sam's. I got a case of Pepsi. Gotta have my Pepsi, and no, it's not paid sponsorship. I just happen to like Pepsi. I'll drink Coke too, but I prefer Pepsi. And I'll drink that later. I've got my milk. I've got a glass of orange juice. So I drink my vitamin E stuff first, and then I will drink the other crap later on. Usually I drink my Pepsi earlier in the thing, but I just happen to have all 3 of these things I've done here. I got my milk, I got my orange juice, and I got my Pepsi, and I'm going to drink everything in that order. Well, okay, we're up to 11. That's about half. I had roughly 20 people last night. I think what happens is if Monty comes on, everybody just migrates over there. Yeah, you're right, Chad. I gotta have the Pepsi. But anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and start with what I was going to talk about. As some of you may have heard, another customer of E-Clause managed to get her ass erected. And that is this Neely Blanchard from the great state of Kentucky. And she went from one end of Kentucky to the other. Decided to take her 2 children with her. And as a result, she got arrested and has the potential of being charged with 4 felonies. Now, what has happened is somebody has put up a WordPress blog. And I'm going to put the link in the description here. So that way you all can go to this blog and you're choosing. And they are basically going to go after E-Clause. And The name of the blog is E-Clause is a Fraud. Um, so you could check that out. And anyway, if the authors don't mind, whoever they may be, they published today on the 28th of March um, their first article, apparently. Or no, actually they started in the 26th. And if they don't mind me plagiarizing them a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and read what they wrote. And so it goes, because I'm not sure, because some of you guys, you have smartphones, and so you might have a little bit of a problem reading this. But I'll try my best. Chris Hallett and Kirk Pendergrass are at it again. This is the second woman who has had a brush with the law for allegations of kidnapping their child or children with a gun. Now, the gun part, yes, but this is the third time that a woman has gotten involved. Remember, there was the woman with 5 kids that bailed in the last minute and said, no, I'm not going to be any part of this, and she turned around. So there was a potential for a third, but she didn't have a weapon. Okay. Last night, an Amber Alert was issued by Kentucky State Police for Neely Blanchard, who lived with her mother in Logan County, Kentucky. Neely was posting on her Facebook while the Amber Alert was circulating through social media and began posting sovereign citizen rhetoric such as her refusal to consent form, which is not a legal document, nor will it be valid in any court in the United States. Blanchard is no stranger to the CPS system and has been in trouble for trying to kidnap her children in the past. In 2013, Blanchard took her child from her school and nearly ran over a school official trying to stop her from taking the child. Now, what's interesting is this is assault with a deadly weapon. Apparently she wasn't charged with that, but she could have been. Okay, and sorry, had to get a cough out of the way, but I missed this last one. Anyway, quote, Neely Blanchard is awaiting trial on charges that she tried to drive off with her 4-year-old daughter without permission from Westview Primary School in Goose Creek in May. Blanchard, also charged with drug possession in the incident, does not have legal custody of the child. Custody belongs to the child's paternal grandmother, according to police. Okay, well, that explains why she's got a beef with the grandmother. Blanchard, who has given addresses in Florida and Kentucky, had been free on $75,000 bond until November 18th, when a judge revoked her bond for violating the conditions of her release, court document shows. Among other things, she was accused of giving a friend in Goose Creek 20 Xanax pills to call 911 on November 12th and falsely report that her daughter was being abused at her paternal grandmother's home, authorities said. Well, we learn something new about this broad every day. And there's a link to the newspaper, which will be in the article, so you may want to read that. And it goes on. Kirk Pendergrass and Chris Hallett are providing false information to vulnerable people who otherwise have no concept of how the court system works. They fill their head with sovereign citizen rhetoric and encourage and assist them in filing documents in their cases filled with what amounts to legal word salad, and the courts view this as a type of paper terrorism. When the courts realize that the parents are expressing sovereign citizen ideologies, this certainly doesn't help them plead their cases in a system that requires parents to be of sound mind to care for their children. Hallett and Pendergrass are going to get someone killed. There is a rumor, by the way, that somebody has committed suicide because the plan that Kirk Pendergrass and Chris Hallett is alleged to have advocated did not work. So, in a way, there is alleged blood on their hands. They are also providing Cynthia Absug with, quote, help on her case, and she ended up being charged with conspiracy to commit armed kidnapping. E. Claus, LLC's legal help isn't helping anyone. It is helping them lose their parental rights, but no one has got their child back as a result of their, quote, help. Let me bring this on, and I gotta. Whoops. I'm trying to keep it so you guys can, kind of read this as I do this. Rather than commenting about how much trouble Blanchard is in or that she shouldn't have kidnapped her kids, Kirk Pendergrass made it known that E. Claus had reported on Blanchard's case in all 4 states that she was involved in. So Claus hasn't done a thing to help Blanchard or anyone else other than to get them felony charges. They let their friend sit in jail for over 4 months while they encouraged him to fight extradition. This, of course, is Field McConnell. Excuse me. Last night, after Blanchard was arrested, her friend did a live video. It was 13 minutes of the usual sovereign citizen rhetoric peppered with QAnon statements. And clients of E. Claus will always toss in the, quote, we are living in Shira law, close quote, when speaking of their situations. Kathy Watson, the friend of Blanchard's and where she was hiding out with her friends, also talked about her own issues with the CPS system. At what point are these people going to realize that it isn't CPS that is causing the problems, but their own behaviors that put them in the situation in the first place? Chris Hallett and Kirk Pendergrass records speak for itself. Cynthia Absug, felonies. Neely Blanchard, felonies. Field McConnell, felonies. Timothy Charles Homseth, absconded from justice, currently at large. This they're correct in. He has not been charged with a felony yet. This is misdemeanor contempt of court that he's been charged with at the present time because of the misdemeanor charges. And one of the reasons that Tim Homseth is able to escape these charges is that it has been rumored that he is outside the state of Minnesota. That may not be the case. Information that I have would have Tim Homseth still within the state of Minnesota, but authorities are under instructions not to pick him up. Observe but do not arrest until advised to do so, because there are felony federal charges coming, and it will be the federal government that will do the arresting at some point. Now this is coming down. This is the YouTube channel that is alleged to be sending this message out. And then this flyer is generally passed out by Neely and others, having, it's a thing that E-Claus puts out, and I'm going to enlarge this so that I can read it. All right. And this, by the way, is entirely wrong. But loss prevention, Malinas Hanum S. Aviviendum, I believe that's how that's pronounced. The malicious designs of men must be thwarted. Have you been due process of law in the courts? Have you had your children stolen by DSS or family court? Do you know someone who has? Would you like to learn how to lawfully and exercise and claim your rights guaranteed to you by the Constitution? Our founding fathers taught us how. It's called a petition of remonstrance. Our 41st president, Donald J. Trump, has given the power back to the people. Come learn how to exercise your power. And they give the times and dates and where they can be listened to on the social media. Our Constitution requires the constant attention and devotion of all citizens. Our Constitution is neither a self-actuating or self-correcting document. There is a story often told that upon exiting the Constitutional Convention, Benjamin Franklin was approached by a group of citizens asking what sort of government the delegates had created. His answer was a republic if you can keep it. It is our duty to our republic for us and for future generations to come. See you there, so on and so forth. Now, this is basically that, and I'm going to go back to the about, because this is the first time I've actually seen this, and it says E-Clause is a fraud, and let me get this back in frame because I had enlarged it. Alright, this should get me back to where I belong. And excuse me for not reading the chat because I'm in this thing here. This site is not affiliated with E-Clause LLC, nor does it endorse, support, or recommend E-Clause LLC. The purpose of this site is to provide information to those who may want to utilize the services of E-Clause LLC and to let the public know that this organization is a fraud. They are not licensed attorneys, nor are they licensed in any state in the nation or abroad to engage in the practice of law. E-Clause has not had one success story, and they use a lot of language to spin, confuse, or engage their audience. The individuals who claim to have helped, let me correct that sentence, the individuals who they claim to have helped have been done more harm, especially those who are dealing with CPS cases. Parents have permanently lost their children or who have been charged with felonies for taking the advice of Kirk Pendergrass and Chris Hallett of E-Clause LLC. If you need legal assistance, contact your local legal aid society. And that is basically that. And what they have now, they've got support of E-Clause is dropping. This was written in December 21st, 2019, apparently. So this has been around here a while. And so this will be an interesting blog for you folks to visit. And in this article on the left, they are accused of copyright infringement of intellectual property. E-Claus uses quotes from Hitler. E-Claus, most high profile, bails out for a bar attorney. Um, large CPS fraud by Helen Pendergrass and others. Incompetent E-Claus frauds. E-Claus provides insight as to his inversion and that you should not go to other sites to engage with speed, but you should, and so on and so forth. So E-Claus doesn't want you going to any other site but theirs, including this one. And so this is, this is where we're at here. So people are starting to wake up to E-Claus, and this blog that's been around longer than I knew apparently started in December of 2019, and I was just made aware of this today. So this is one of these blogs that I'm going to bookmark, and I would ask the authors for permission to do readings from this blog as they go up, so that people understand. But I would visit this blog because they have links and stuff in here that would be of use to you folks, so you may want to check them out. Let's see what else is going on. But anyway, that's where we're at on that. Now let me come over here to chat and see what. Now we're getting into. Okay, well. Okay. But, basically, and apparently what's going on with this woman is she's still in custody. I don't know if she was able to get out on bond. I have not checked. And I might. As a matter of fact, let me do that now. I'm going to. Go up here to my source. Humphreys County Jail, Kentucky. Okay. So we go over here. Okay, bring this over here. Okay, what I want to see is if they get. Okay, Neely Blanchard is still. Okay, this is what I've got on Neely Blanchard. Okay, she is still in custody with a $10,000 bond. Why am I getting. Trying to correct. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough, I guess. But I'm going to read this. This might be a little hard for you guys to read, but Oh, poo. I hate it when it does that. Anyway, so what we have is that she was booked on the 20th at 3 o'clock in the morning, well, 2:53 in the morning. Brown hair, hazel eyes, 5'5", 170 pounds. She was arrested by the Kentucky State Police. And it gives city and zip code. It doesn't give the street address. Has a out of county warrant from Logan County. Bond amount out of Logan County is 0. And basically it's 3/26 is the arrest date for Logan County. So that was yesterday. And she has a court date of May 10th, 2020. So if this woman doesn't get a bond, she is in jail for over a month. Because we're looking May 10th, 2020 at 1:30 p.m. So, it's kind of neat how Kirk Pendergrass manages to get all these people thrown in jail. So this chick ain't going anywhere for a while unless somebody comes up with $10,000. Oh, and they were kind enough to give her a face mask. I wonder if she's going to have to reuse that every day. That's kind of a trip. But that's where we're at on that. Oh, it would have helped if I... Sorry about that, folks. I forgot to transition all of this. So here we go again. But what apparently will eventually happen to these people is that they're going to get their appearances, will get grand jury appearances and so on and so forth. So she was originally arrested for trying to kidnap her other daughter in 2013. And she nearly ran over someone from the school in the process. She got out of that one on a technicality, apparently. She pushes drugs. She gave somebody drugs, Xanax, I believe, in return for calling 9/11 and filing a false police report. So that was interesting. But that apparently was the original arrest, Are You Awake, was for attempting to kidnap the daughter. Okay, so that takes care of that. You're welcome. Try not to kill each other in chat, guys. I need all the people I can get. I notice we got a little bit of a heated argument going on here, which is fine. Just, try to keep it within the bounds. And the Great Dodger is here. One of the best YouTube content creators out there. Does all kinds of neat things. But I want to check, just for the heck of it. Well. Okay. All of Phil McConnell's material. Oh, I was wrong. Never mind. Because what it is Kirk's Law is the 1, 2, 3, 4 most recent, and then you have to go down to where Phil McConnell was last online a month ago. So they have not gotten rid of Phil McConnell's crap yet. And they better hurry up because they're under court order to get that stuff off there. And Field Report 2 is, let's see. Well, same deal. They've got, the backup goes to 4 months ago and goes from there. So, on the backup channel, we got 4 months ago for Field. And basically, it's his wife on the 4 month ago one. Field last appears 4 months ago. And then when you go to the main channel, it stops at a month ago. So, technically, these people are in violation of the court order. Yeah, well. But he's basically out of the loop. And I find it interesting that Tim Holmseth says nothing about the lawsuit against him. Not a blessed thing. Alright, this is going to act up again. Oh, there we go. Yeah, every once in a while I have a problem with the browser. So let's go over. Tin Hat has to say. No, the last thing, 23 hours ago, Tim put up the thing about E-Claw's statement on Neely Blanchard arrest issues stern warning. Okay, I have one new subscriber. Welcome, new subscriber. Kirk is on the air. Damn. I'm telling you, this thing, I don't know what it is. With the Chrome browser, when I open it up, I get all these stupid notifications. So all Tim Holmseth is AWOL. Which is, that's a pattern. He seems to go away. And the other idiot channel really isn't doing much of anything. So it's kind of, they're probably doing the hokey pokey or something. I don't know. Hard to tell with those two. So there is nothing going on. So one thing that I found rather peculiar was that Randy put up a scientific paper, and I doubt she understands what they're talking about, because it takes someone with a degree in quantum physics, quantum mechanics, celestial mechanics to understand what's in the paper. I think she puts it up there to make herself look smart. Hi, Rebecca, and hi, all you good people that are showing up. Well, that's all right, Rebecca. That's why I record the show. So if anybody wants to go back and read what I wrote or read what I talked about, they can do so. All right, where's my? There it is. Okay. 745. I can't seem to get past that number, but that's okay. That's a pretty good amount. Because depending on depending on what happens with the virus, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in there or not in the courtroom. So I'm going to play that by ear. B24. Yeah, Mr. Marshall owns one of those. B25, actually. Okay. No, but let's see if I can find that. But what's funny about what she put up, she has this thing about the flag. Apparently she didn't. She put up a paper from the General Science Journal, which happens to be a publication that I read quite a lot. And it's research papers on quantum theory / particle physics. And I find it weird that she would download this, because I doubt she has any idea what Klein-Gordon generalized wave equations are. And she wouldn't know the expression you write to deal with this formula, which is basically has to do with the hydrogen atom, phase configuration, and gravity. But I was amused when I saw this. I'm familiar with this paper. It was written in 2013. I read it. And I thought it was rather odd that Randy put this up, because I rather doubt she understands what they're talking about. Of course, she's going to make the theory. Matter of fact, let me bring this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But this is what this is. This is a scientific journal, and it allows people that have widely varying theories a place to publish, because there are times when you have problems getting things published. It's the old publish or perish. Usually it's used when you're trying to work on your doctorate degree and you need to get a certain amount of publications out there. So you turn to a place like this to say, okay, there's a science journal, I'm published, so I can work towards my PhD. And it gets into various. Now, I doubt that Randy Erickson would understand any of this. Um, and what this expression here is trying to show, as far as ratios and so forth, and what the stuff even indicates. But what it is you're getting into stuff that the QAnons can misappropriate and misstate for the various theories, because you'll see a lot of stuff come up. But if you knew this stuff, then you would understand that this has nothing to do with Q. This is simply quantum theory, basic, the kind of stuff that people talk about in universities. This expression here is quite, I'm a little curious as to why the implosive compression golden ratio prefers fractal phase configuration. Yeah, I've read that. Oh, it's funny. I saw this and I went, whoa, I've actually read this paper. So I thought that was interesting, and I immediately recognized it and when this was put up. And I understand this particular publication. And for what it is we call it free-thinking scientists, and we can bang around different theories and get published, where in a lot of cases this stuff normally wouldn't be published in the run-of-the-mill academia, because some of these theories, there's a kind of like a discipline you have to go through to prove these theories. And so I'm a little curious as to why Randy put this up. She'll probably come up with some rinky-dink thing about QAnon and the reason for this particular publication. But I can guarantee you, and I did it again. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. The scientific paper right here. And let me bring this up. Now, you would have to have a discipline in quantum physics, celestial mechanics, and all that to even begin to grasp what we're looking at here. And this mainly has to do with unified theory of compression and how gravity's created and so on and so forth. And I would challenge Randy Erickson, or maybe some of the meatheads over there, to explain what is being talked about here, to see if they even have the remotest understanding of what is being discussed here. And in particular, what this particular statement and graph indicates. In any of these graphs, as a matter of fact, what they indicate. Because they, all these, interesting polygon. Getting into phase configurations and so on and so forth. And I would like to have her, this particular expression, I would like to have her explain it. Because I know what all this means. So I would like to have her explain that. And also some of these papers that are in here, fractal global functions, and so on and so forth. Because I guarantee you, now believe it or not, this little thing here, these are fractals. You see these all the time on the internet, but this is a fractal. Um, and you will not see this very often because these are highly specialized scientific papers are known only to a few, which is why I'm surprised that Randy would publish this stuff because this is all academia. They're discussed by people with PhDs, maybe master's degrees, usually in celestial mechanics, quantum physics, astrophysics, so on and so forth. Um, Q wouldn't even be able to understand this. This has nothing at all to do with Q. I think what's happened is that Q and people like Randy have accidentally come across this publication and they are using it and all the dioramas in here to advocate their wild theories. Super imploder. Yeah, some of the stuff that they have in here. But I used to read this quite a lot. Uh, okay, this is an interesting. This is a very common formula right here. This is the Klein-Gordon equation for field theory of equations. And use this expression. And then it converts to this. Sum of waves. Now I guarantee you that Randy Erickson has no idea of what these expressions mean. She could not work these formulas at all. This is celestial mechanics and differential calculus. Just unfreaking believable. These people, I see this stuff and I just go, where V is all space. So we define a function, yeah. And let's see. Yep. Yep. This is old. This is old shit. Interesting paper. I may have to reread this. But, she puts this up with no explanation. And, I doubt she understands a word of what this crap is. But, she can say, "Oh, this is a hint from Q and all this." So, what's Daniel up to since we got his part face on here? He's nothing too constructive. And so there's that. I'll be back in just a minute. I gotta do my thing. Now, just to answer the question, Amber is a dachshund mix. Long hair, dachshund, but she was a rescue, so we don't know precisely, but she's got probably a lot of um, dachshund in her. Skippy is what's known as a Sherpakeek, or however the hell you pronounce it. They used to use them on ships to chase rats and stuff. So, yeah, Danny Boy is in for a big awakening. And let me get this. Let me get this over here. Let's see. Grateful in keeping the face of Craig Sawyer has put up something. Dunning-Kruger effect. Maybe this is the reason for it. Because, yeah, I'm having a feeling that's why Randy put that up, because it does discuss the Dunning-Kruger effect. But that's a misapplication of that theorem. You know, people don't understand what they're putting up. You know, this has nothing to do with the core and the virus. This has to do with something entirely different. But, you know, trying to explain to these people. Preacher Dan needs to get himself a lawyer. Well, let's see. We're not. I don't like the way this puts up. Timothy Holmseth accusations Jon Snow. My. Yeah, I know about that person. Divine put up a long video yesterday. Holy mackerel. And it was all about the court documents that were against him and the mother of his son. Amber Alert, Agent 19, 1 day ago. Oh, okay. Let me get this up. I hope Agent 19 doesn't mind me doing this. I don't know what kind of copyright he's got on his thing. I think he gave me permission a long time ago, but I'm not sure. Oh, let me do it this way. Bear with. Oop, I lost it. Where did it go? Okay, that's that one. Well, that's strange. I lost it. So we'll do this. Okay, Mr. 19. A-G-E-N-T 1-9. Amber Alert. Chris Hallett. Alright, so we bring it up. Take off the speaker. I'm going to transition this. Alright, let's see how this works.
This is a disturbing development. We have an Amber Alert in Kentucky. Isabella Blanchard, age 7. Adriana Blanchard, age 7. Last seen March 20th, 2020 in Russellville, Kentucky. Vehicle: 2014 Ford Escape. Black SUV. Florida license plate E-Clause. Chris Hallett. Susan Blanchard is the grandmother and legal guardian of two 7-year-old twins, Isabella and Adriana Blanchard. Susan advised her daughter, Neely Blanchard, to come visit the twins on Friday, March 20th, 2020, at her residence. Neely took the twins to a friend's residence in Dawson Springs, Kentucky. Susan contacted Neely advising her to bring the twins back to the residence, but she failed to do so. According to the friend that resides in Dawson Springs, Neely has not been seen or heard from since Monday, March 23rd, 2020. Susan contacted Neely's husband that lives in Florida. He advised that he was unable to help. These are his children, and he advised that he was unable to help. Susan believes Neely Blanchard may be en route to South Carolina, where her 11-year-old daughter resides with her grandmother. That grandmother also has custody of the 11-year-old, and she believes she may try to take her as well. Neely has a history of mental illness, further compounded by the coronavirus pandemic. She is a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen that is in possession of a handgun. She is driving a black 2014 Ford Escape with a Florida license plate E-Clause. If you have information, contact the Kentucky State Police. This just keeps getting worse. No matter how stupid and depraved you think these people are, they will never fail to do something to prove to you that they are far more stupid and depraved than you could have ever possibly imagined. I'm kind of lost for words. We have another kidnapping involving another handgun, involving another individual with ties to the Children's Crusade. I'll just let that sink in. That's all I have for you. This is a disturbing development.
Uh, Agent 19 hit it on the head again. That, we have these quasi legal experts uh, giving out this horrific advice, and people get thrown in jail. And what are you going to do? They keep listening to these clowns, and they keep getting caught, thrown in jail, $10,000 bond, um, not going to be heard in court until May, which means if she bails out, she's got to be in the area. She can't get in the car and drive back to the other side of Kentucky like Absug tried to do, to go back to Colorado. You just can't do that. You got to stay there. She can waive extradition, and go on back to her home county to where she can face the charges there, or she can fight extradition and spend the next 3 or 4 months in county jail like Field McConnell did. They'll make a martyr out of her again. That's what seems to happen with all these people. Alex Jones app kicked off Android store for promoting coronavirus misinformation. Oh, lovely. I'll put that up in my. I gotta read this. Alex Jones is a piece of work. But, Um, there's another thing, Chris Hallett. I wonder when Chris Hallett did this one, because he's on the air right now. It's hard to say. And let me bring up the audio on this.
Whitney did a writ of quo ra, taking an interest in politics, and with the second the second election there, that's when I was like, no, man, this man can't even be the president. He's not a natural born citizen. And just so people are aware, I think it was Blair Whitney did a writ of quo warranto, challenging the legality, the lawfulness of Obama being president because of his birth certificate. And then, oddly enough, here comes Trump right out of the gate talking about Obama should have never been president. He's not a natural-born citizen. Well, I actually happen to have that writ of quo warranto, and it has all the evidence in it, and it proves that his birth certificate was falsified, doctored.
Yep, Kirk Pendergrass being a bigot again. That was debunked years ago, but, what are you going to do? I mean, the guy's not president anymore, so I don't know why he's got a burr up his ass about Obama. You got the president you want, so go for it. Yeah, I had that problem, and I have found Dodger on YouTube. I can't, I think it's like Dodger Real or something. Yeah, Dodger, would you put up a link for that? Because I know I was gonna go to your channel, and you're not showing up on my subscriptions. I'm subscribed to your channel, but I'm not finding it. I wanted to. I'm gonna have to bookmark you or something so I can find you. Hi, Julia. Welcome to the chat. Got a respectable number tonight. Not much. I started out talking about the Neely situation, and put up the mugshot and the police report. She does have a $10,000 cash bond. She's not going to be making an appearance in court until May, and this would likely be the extradition back to the other county to where she's going to have the 4 charges made against her. That's fine, Dodger. Mm. Home. Save notifications. Sometimes it say Ginger still fighting it. Pacify. Ada J Moon. Kennedy, Reagan, Joe, Jack, Glow, Ginger, Lori, Joe, Dodo. Yeah, not seeing it. Yeah, I gotta kind of watch it with his videos because they got copyright stuff in them, and I can't. What I do is I usually squelch the audio when I put the Dodger videos in here. When I can find them, that is. Rebecca has unique voice and laughter. I love her videos. Uh, how did Homeseth cost my business? Well, basically because Homeseth started calling around. It was a combination of people. There were several people that joined together, and they put up blogs saying that I was a crook, that my cars were stolen, that I was a pedophile. They put up a public service announcement. There were at least a half dozen blogs out there. They have stuff up on YouTube, and my customers see this stuff and they just quit buying. Um, you know, when Tim Holmseth, Radio News, and some of these other people started publishing things, uh, my business plummeted to the point where I couldn't afford to operate. They were turning in complaints to the Department of Motor Vehicles, which were false, and I had to take time away from the business to fight these complaints. He turned in papers to the law enforcement that accused me of being a pedophile, so on and so forth. So that was just, and see, that's his goal. He did the same thing to Levi Page. He would call CNN, HLN to try and get Levi Page off the air. Uh, the key that these people want to do is they want to take away your source of income. So that's basically what happened. It was not one thing. It was just that they picked a bad time to go after me because it's right at the big recession that hit, and it was just enough to tip me over. I couldn't operate anymore, so I had to close the business. And that put my service manager, put my general manager out of work, put my service manager out of work, put my mechanics out of work. Uh, it created all kinds of problems. But so I just am retired now. I get by the best way I can. Well, nobody deserves it because all I was doing was live streaming. Now, I may have done a couple harebrained stunts, but that's not enough to get someone out of business, to deny someone a way to earn a living. Yeah, I had to take. I lost my wife around this time, so that source of, we were a joint income family. That stuff went away. And it's just, everything just added up, and it's just unfortunate. You're widowed and you go out of business in the same year. Well, thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, boy. There are I'm going through here, and there are so many Dodger things on Facebook. Or on YouTube. Unreal. Dodger, you've hidden yourself real well. Yeah, this is the problem I had trying to find you before. L.A. Dodgers. I typed in Dodger, and I'm getting everything on the L.A. Dodgers. Just miles and miles and miles. So that ain't gonna work. I mean, you gave up at your own channel. Sorry, folks. Here we go. Got it. And the last thing Dodger did was a day ago. Okay.
Pay very close.
Oh. Poop. This has got audio on here, but you went and put that darn copyrighted stuff on there again. I don't know how the heck I'm going to get around that. See, the problem with Dodger's videos and playing them in here is the darn things are copyrighted. Yeah, the music is copyrighted, and I don't know if I could get away with putting that music in here. And of course, the only thing they do is they say I can't monetize the content. Yeah, it does. So I just recommend anybody that wants to see Dodger's videos, I put the link in the chat. By all means, just go watch these videos. They are an absolute riot. I had to go through 2,000 LA Dodgers pages to find the darn thing, but I found it. But at least it's linked in here, so anytime somebody needs it, they can come in the chat and find it. And if I remember, I may, if I edit this tape, I'll put it in the description or something, so that. Well, what I can do, I'll run it through without the soundtrack. But yeah, you gotta watch it because he gives the music, makes the Buicks. I haven't heard a thing, Sabrina, about Sarah Dunklin. I have no idea what's going on with her case. I suppose I could check and see exactly what is going on with it. Oh yeah, you gotta have the music for the bids. It makes the bids. So basically, people are better off to go see the video at Dodger's channel. But this kind of gives you an idea of what the video is going to be. Yeah. My Sharona. Bum, 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 bum. Daily Truth, he stole my name. Well, he gets the right numbers, he can monetize the channel, and then he can, he can get a return on his investment, and he can always have Dodger T-shirts and stuff like that. I'd buy a Dodger T-shirt and use it on the show. Yeah, that's the thing you ought to think about, Dodger, because you could do what that one guy did and make stuff and make T-shirts out of them. And I could always use the graphics here on the show, and that way you cross promote and you sell T-shirts and coffee cups, all kinds of good things. Yeah, see, that's right now I'm not monetized, but what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to work towards that future, because that way, you don't make a lot of money when you're monetized on YouTube, but it kind of helps with little things. But you could have a store and get around that problem, and that would help you offset some of your expenses. But if you ever make a graphic over on these online stores, I'll buy the shirt and I'll promote the channel with a hat and a shirt. Yeah, apparently you can. Uh, that's not guaranteed. What you might want to do, there's YouTube lawyers and stuff that talk about this stuff as far as when you're messing around with copyrighted music and what YouTube allows and doesn't allow. But if you go on YouTube, there are thousands of videos made every day where they've used copyrighted music. Now, when I did the Strangers in the Night video on one of my YouTubes, they said this is not a YouTube strike, but the copyright holder reserves the right to advertise on your channel, and you cannot monetize that video. So, well, Dwayne, that answers your question. The people that are following these yo-yos do not have a brain. You got this guy sitting in the parking lot of a shopping center saying he's the press secretary for the President of the United States, and people follow him. It's funny thing you put up this video, Dodger. I was talking about this last night. You put up both videos, and the one video, this is his more recent. The last video that played, this one here. This video was one of the first ones he did at this shopping center. And then he went and did another one recently, and he said he was traveling. But it's the same damn shopping center. And the way you can tell is there's on the brick of let's see if that thing comes up again. Now we're near the end of the video. Let me run it back. Right there. Now in this video, right here, this little stripe. Now this video is the first video he did. And there's this stripe going down the building. And over here, just over his left shoulder, there's the little square. Now, I don't know if it's in here. Let me go back. Because I'll know if I see his glasses. But I was going to take... I thought I saw the newer thing in here. But you got all this stuff on here, so it's going to be hard to find. But if you go and look at the video that he did the other night, you'll see, matter of fact, I can pull that up. So let me pull this down a minute. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up to illustrate what I'm talking about. Because that's, now that you guys have seen the old video, Okay. Right there, just what I wanted. Timmy, you're good. Good boy, Timmy. Okay, this is the video that was made in a couple days ago. Now again, what we're going to do is, here is the stripe. And this is the overhang. This is actually a freight entrance for this store. So he's almost exactly where he was before. And what I was trying to point out is over here, this yellow thing. Now, how this shopping center is designed is, he is at a business that is directly to his right. It would be to the left on the screen and to his right. And I didn't transition again. All right, now I got to do this all over again. All right, starting over. Up here, we have this little stripe going along. And then you have this overhang. This is a loading dock. Because what it is at the angle you can't tell, but trucks back up to this door right here. And, whoops, I had not wanted to do that. Get your hand out of the picture, dumbass. But anyway, there's the door. This is more than likely an enclosure, and this is the wall of the building. And over here, this yellow thing. Now, I'm not sure, but that might be a Waffle House. But behind his car, what you don't see, there is a driveway that runs through here. And in his original video, if you go back and watch Dodger's video and just let it play through, you will notice that vehicles are going back and forth on this driveway behind Timmy. And that's how you know it's the same mall. Now, he claims in this video that he's traveling. Well, the only place he's traveling is from wherever he's staying to this mall, because it's the same damn mall. One of these days, I'm going to get both of these videos and I'm going to compare the pictures so that you can tell that Tim Holmseth is again lying, that he's not traveling anywhere. It's the same stupid mall, and it's probably near whoever is providing him room and board. So, yeah, but that's Timmy. He does not know how to tell the truth. But what the heck? Let's go over to Holmseth's channel, and I'll bring this down while I'm going over there, because I want to bring that other video up. Okay, that's 25th. Okay, that's the same video, so I want to go back. Because I'm trying to note now if... Let me go on the top of his page. Maybe I can do it this way. There's a way. Videos. Yeah, here we go. Now he's got... Oh, here we go. This is beautiful. Okay. Now this video was made 4 months ago. So let me bring it up. Oh, Timmy, sometimes you just do the world a favor with your stupidity. Transition. Now, again, here is the stripe that goes down this building, right there. Now, he's parked slightly different, so it's hard to tell, but this is the building that you see in the other videos. And he's parked at a slightly different angle, so you can't tell the building. All right, get out of the way. All right. But that stripe runs all the way along the building. Right about here is the loading dock. Over here is the building in the background. Because of the angle, you can't see the yellow roof. But I want to show you something. Somewhere. Okay, well, I'm going to let this play through because this is a. But just keep an eye on this building in the background as we go through. Yeah, you got traffic running here. This is a gas station. This is a Shell gas station. You can tell because this here is, they use it. Circle K uses Shell gasoline depending on what part of the country in. And I'm beginning to believe this is a Kroger's. I'm doing research into the malls in the area to figure out if I can find out what mall he's in. This over here in his window is the building that's across the street. Now at some point you're going to see a pickup truck with a service rack flying through here. And that tells you that there is a driveway that runs through the middle of these two buildings. And he keeps moving his camera around. And you notice he's got junk in here. I don't know what. That looks like a chair. One of those. There goes the truck. So that tells you that there is a driveway. Now the truck, apparently there's a stop sign there. So the truck stops. And lingers around for quite a bit. I don't know what's going on with the truck. But where that truck is, to the left of the truck, is that door I showed you in the earlier video. Yeah, when I saw that, I thought maybe there was a bank or something there. Now here comes another vehicle up behind the truck. So I'm beginning to wonder if this is a bank, if this building here is a bank, because these vehicles stopped. This guy doesn't seem to be too concerned that this truck has stopped. He's not trying to go around him. He's in line. And then all of a sudden the truck pulls away, and here comes the other vehicle. Now the reason I'm doing it this way is I'm telling you how I do photo analysis. You could be right about a pharmacy being in Kroger, but this is a shopping plaza. This is not a rest stop, because these overhangs in the background, there goes that truck. There's a highway there. I have a feeling that this is a shopping center off a busily traveled road, and that this thing here is probably a Shell gas station or some convenience store that uses these these yellow overhangs. And what you can't see in this shot is right in this area here is a loading dock, a freight receiving door. And I'm trying to. There would have to be a minimum of 50 feet between this point and this point in order for a tractor trailer, or at the minimum a service truck or a straight truck, to back up to the dock and not be out in the middle of traffic to where he'd get in the way of stuff. So I have a feeling this is just a receiving door that straight trucks, UPS or something pulls up to that door and unloads their freight. Yeah, the architecture looks like a Kroger's. And so what you do is, it's an easy thing to get on Google, do Kroger's in the area where Randy lives, and probably could find the shopping center. And once you find the shopping center, you know where he's at. But I have been told that the Secret Service knows his location. They're holding on to do anything about it for some reason. Alright, let me bring this down. Because what I want to do is I want to bring up the other video. Okay, this is the other video. Alright, now, bring this up. Now this is at a different angle. He's apparently gotten closer to the building. Again, here's the stripe. And now, okay, that's exactly what this is. This here is a window for a pharmacy. So I was wrong about this being a loading dock. So that's what that is. People pull up to this overhang. They transact business, be it a bank or a pharmacy. And then there's the yellow building in the background. Because now that he's changed angles, it's clear what this building is. So if you take this building and the other building that's in the previous... This ain't gonna let me do it. So what I gotta do... So keep an eye on that building. And let me bring that up again. But this leads me to the conclusion that he is using the very same shopping center. And so his base of operation is somewhere where he cannot because now okay, there's the building in that video. Okay, in this building where he's got the hat on, let me see. Now this video, let me go through it. He has this one, if he had kept this angle, he would have been fine. Because all through here, there's no way, you cannot tell where he's at in this video. And let me bring this up a little bit. Alright, let me bring this over here. I went through this without... And I want to show
There's
you.
a reason that I'm telling you this. I'm not going to get into the reasons.
Shut
You'll
up. Alright, this... I'm not understanding why. There we go. But the one where he had the blue hat, you couldn't see the background. This other one where he had the blue hat on, you see trees. But in this one, you know, in these videos, he is not... He's smart enough that he's keeping the camera angle at a point where you cannot see the background out of any of these windows. The only thing you know is this is the same car because of this window here, this hatchback back here, and the configuration of this light up here. That's how you can tell. And the light, of course, isn't coming out of my video. So let me pull this over. But here's this light. This is how I was able to tell what kind of car this was. It's because of this light and this window and this hatchback. These are, this is a Nissan Rogue. It's what you call a crossover SUV. My Honda Fit is about the same size as this car, so it's quite small. But so, what if we go back? But it's this video here, because this shows it perfect. Now this, if I can get this squared up here, this shows it perfectly. So let me get, this is why Timothy is dumb. Because this shows just exactly what I want people to see. There's the building with the stripe. There's the building with the stripe. The only difference here is it's a different angle. If you bring up this particular shot here, gives you the perspective of the entire building. And why that's, okay, my cursor's not, whatever reason my cursor's not showing it. But let me transition. Okay. Yeah, there we go. This video, there's the stripe. There's the other building here. This is the building in the background. Slightly different angle. Here we are up here. Building in the background. There's the stripe. If you play the video, gives you the stripe again. And what he does is at some point he adjusts the camera, and this allows me to focus on this thing in the background. And you got the stripe, and then there, I was thinking this is a loading dock, and after seeing this further, this is actually a pharmacy window in a Kroger's pharmacy or whatever pharmacy that is. So he is not traveling around. He is in one place. So, you know, Timmy just gave himself away on that one. Okay, where'd I go? Okay, I managed to lose me again. There's standby. Oh, I did it again. There I am. Hi, guys. Yeah, I think I finally figured out how to keep messing myself up here. And over we go. Oh, good. I'm looking forward to Dodger's new video. I love Dodger's videos. There. Okay. So, but Timmy is the gift that keeps on giving. He's just, I don't know why I'm getting that. I'm getting a frame up on it. Oh, I know what it is. There. That gets rid of that. Check my mailbox. What? Because that's, yeah, it's funny. Timmy doesn't realize that he does stuff like this, and it gives people the evidence to know exactly where he's at. And all this shows is that he is not mobile. He is in a fixed place. The woman has been found. Oh, okay, that's a link to my. Somebody put a link to my monologue up on Timmy's channel. Oh, he's got to love that. Poor Timmy. He just keeps screwing himself. Oop, there it is. And I understand he's not operating these Facebook channels. They're put up their form or something. I don't know. Okay. 5 hours ago. So she's not. Okay, so. Oh, man. Knee hurts for some reason tonight. So, Bonnie and Clyde are not doing much. I don't know if Phil McConnell would have the flu or not. That'd be great because remember they have a child in the house, a toddler or an infant, one of the two. And so having Phil McConnell around somebody that's maybe a couple of years old, that's not a good thing. And that's the problem with having the flu is it's close to the symptoms for having the corona, but it is not the flu. It's a virus, or it's a respiratory virus. It's totally different. Now, if Monty can do this, I can do it. That guy's always drinking something on his show. But I'll be right back. Hello, Darren. Welcome to the chat. All right, where'd it go? Oh, it's up here. Okay. Okay. Excuse me, guys. Old age catching up. Who the hell is Catherine Grace? Yeah, probably I ain't playing that one. That's more of his crap. Oh, no. Well, I'm just going to have to disagree with you, Sharp. It's. I don't know. I'm not going to get an argument about it, because that's not the subject of this chat, but. That's just the same video of Timmy in the high command. But boy, it does a good job of pointing out that loading dock. Woo! Go back there. Yep, right there. Alright, let me bring this up. Well, I don't want that. Oh, this does such a wonderful job bringing it. I just noticed in this video. Let me bring this over. Well, the lockdown we have here in Orlando is not really that bad. You're allowed to run around during the daylight if you're shopping and stuff like that. So, you know. All right, now, reason I brought this up again is that I managed to get this at all systematic angle here. Again, here is the stripe that goes along the building, and then we have what apparently is a drive-up window for a pharmacy. Now here is what looks like a loading dock. And like I have said before, all the way across here is some kind of driveway where cars come in and out. Now, for whatever reason, Timmy picked a day when nobody's driving across the driveway. Because that there is a yellow overhang to a gas station, which apparently is on the other side of the building. Now let me move this ahead. Because what I haven't noticed in looking at this is any cars going through this driveway. Now, probably because of the pandemic, there is some kind of a shelter in place, something to where people are not out and about. And so Tim Holmseth went out and made this video and managed to do it without having a bunch of cars buzzing around behind him. But the architecture gives away the fact that that's where he's in. I didn't mean to dwell so much on that point, except to point out that Timothy is lying about traveling. He is in one place. So if he says that he's traveling, he's not traveling. At least not very far. He's going from wherever he's staying to this. Oh, hey, Amber. Oh, Amber, you just gotta. All right, don't get yourself in the headphone wire there. Well, everybody, Amber. Oh, ah, killer puppy, 7-year-old killer puppy. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Oh my God, this dog just steals the show. Yes, she does. You just steal the show. Oh, yes, you do. You steal the show. Yuck. Well, okay. Well, the thing of it is, if we could figure out where the hell he's at, or, well, I think they know where he's at, because I've been told that the government knows where he's at. They're just letting him bury himself in evidence. Go on. There the girl. Ugh. Mushy dog. Mushy dog. That, Amber is, if I let her stay on my lap, she's all over me. That dog will not sit still for 5 minutes. And, she just decided to come for a visit. Does that all the time. Whew. Hairy little thing. But Amber made her appearance. Fast food drive-thru. Well, that could be. But again, because what you do is I would think anybody local could check out, because that's got to be down near, if he's staying with Randy. Skippy's in the living room sleeping. That dog rarely moves. Every once in a while he'll go out to get a drink of water, and then's when I can nail him. I can say, okay, Skippy, come here. But right now he's just laying down. All that dog does is lay down and sleep. He's the complete opposite of Amber. I put him up on the lap. He kind of looks around saying, all right, when are you going to put me down? Yeah, he's a well-behaved dog. He doesn't mind being on the lap. It's just he'd rather be on the ground. Sometimes he'll let you sit, if you pet him and stuff, he's all right. So... Boy, it is dead tonight. I guess we're just going to have to wait for Dodgers video whenever it shows up, because I can't find any videos. I am blocked from his Facebook. There's a reason I'm able to see his Facebook, and I don't want to give that away. So I can't post on his Facebook. He has this thing about blocking people he doesn't like. So I expect whoever put that link to my video up, it'll probably be deleted before long. Yeah, Skippy is a super dog. He is a trip. Skippy! Nope, he's just... That dog will not come when called. He just kind of hangs around. Now, if I had a piece of food or something, that dog would be staring at me right now. So... Oh boy. Nothing going on. But so let me do one more check here just for the hell of it. I do not understand why this is coming up. Quiet Friday night. Well, I thought maybe they're all over watching Kirk Law. Or, I was thinking maybe Monograph is on, but I haven't seen anything yet. Because I usually get notified when he's on. But, Friday night, maybe people will find something better to do than listen to me babble on. Okay, the 12th. The 12th of March is the last entry in the court. So, nothing new on Field McConnell. The 9th, he turned in his passport. The passport was accepted on the 9th. The 11th, the bond was posted. The 11th was the first change of address. The 11th was the electronic monitor house arrest agreement. And then the 12th was another notice of change of address. So that's where we're at with Field McConnell there. Generally, Waffle Houses are standalones. The Waffle House here in Apopka is actually joined against one other building. It's open on one side, joined on the other. It's rare that you see that, but 90% of them are standalones. May 7th at 9 p.m. Yeah, it's his favorite Wi-Fi wherever he's at. And he doesn't go in the establishment. He sits outside in the car. And what happens is, depending on his location, he has a signal drop out because he's too far away from the router. His standard router is only good for about 100 feet. And then you start getting a drop off. He's in a damn car. So you're going to have some signal loss there. So he's probably getting one bar if he's lucky, maybe two. And that's causing him why he's always complaining about a signal drop out. Let me bring that up. I know there was one coffee cup he had, but this is one of the old okay. Did he have a coffee cup here? I want to zero this out. Now, one thing I'm curious about is the brand of those sunglasses. There's a marking up here, and I would be curious. Okay, so then he is using a McDonald's. Because I was trying to figure out when he had that coffee cup. Okay, for some reason this isn't giving me a... Now, you notice in the background off his glasses you get a general idea of what he's around. Oh, this is a good one. I'm going to screen cap that. Well, that didn't do any good. But this is the, but whatever, you know, you've got stuff here that's reflecting off the glasses. I'm not sure what that is. But this is the bad thing about wearing sunglasses is you get all these reflections. And I'm going to go through and retake these because I can do a photo analysis and see if I can bring out the detail on these glasses. I wonder if that's a sign. One of those big signs they have tells you where all the stores are at. And here again, you got some detail over here in the corner. And this is the laptop he's using. I've seen this in the living room shot where he's sitting on the whatchamacallit there. The lounge chair he's in, you can see this computer on his lap. And it's probably an older Dell. Yeah, there's that thing again. So you're saying that's a handicap sign? Yeah, so you got this here. This looks like a car, and this looks like a road and a car maybe. And there's this thing over here, which has got to be another sign. So it's all around in here. You got a sign or something. But yeah, Timothy does me the favors of wearing these glasses because he's giving me a lot to work with. Because that's a trip. Thank you, Timmy. Keep wearing them damn glasses. Because down here he did the same thing. This is when he did the night shot. So you got all these lights here. You got these lights here, the street pole. There's the McDonald's arch way over on the right. So there's your McDonald's arch. So that means that he's in a McDonald's parking lot and he is way far away from the router. Because the routers are usually in a back, they have like a manager's office, and that's where the that would be. Now I'm out of frame here, so okay, there's the McDonald's right there. That's one of the arches. So, but again, you can go on Google and you can find out where the McDonald's are at. So we go. This is 4 months ago. And he manages to keep the camera pretty still here, or the laptop. He's using the webcam on a laptop. So the arch stays pretty well the same. It's the same car. And whatever this is in the glasses. And for some reason he's able to shift, and this brings the arch into better focus. So he's moving the camera all over the place in that. But this here, I said, this is a dead of night, yet we've got brightness here. So whatever's in front of him is really bright. So he's in a well-lit parking lot somewhere. He's now in this one. That's the laptop there in his eyeglasses. There's not much that we're going to garner from this, other than that's that same lounge chair that shows up in that picture. Yeah, so you're in a house, you've got a good Wi-Fi signal. So all these, he wears the plaid shirt here, here. There's several of these where he's got the plaid shirt on here. He's got the plaid shirt down here. He goes to the brown shirt here, the brown shirt here. I don't think there's very many times we see him in this thing here and this thing here. Let's see, here, here, here. Then he goes to brown, brown. Then just a regular t-shirt here. This pattern shirt here. This other open shirt that we see down here is now up here. Here's the brown shirt again. I'm not sure about this one. The car. I'm not sure. I think he might be wearing the t-shirt in this one. Yeah. Sorry. So not sure about that. But then he's in a light shirt here. He's got the sweater on here. And there's this one again. And the brown shirt. Now, I'm curious, this Q one, if he does anything here. Well, yes, he does. Okay, he's got this. I think he's got whatever that is, because it's got a bunch of stars in it. This was made 5 months ago, so this is an old one. Now there's a tree over here, there's a building over here. This is probably the damn McDonald's again. Because you got the pillar is hiding whatever this building is. And generally when we see the McDonald's, it's right here. So and these sunglasses, I don't know if these are the same ones in the new video or not. But the problem with sunglasses is they're highly reflective, and glasses in general are. That's why when I used to do my live streams 10 years ago, I used to wear glasses, and you could see my computer monitor right in my glasses, and it was very distracting. Okay, we've got something here, but it's not clear what it is. Uh, but then again, here we go with this thing up here at the top. His overhead, well, it's not showing up. Let me bring this over. But right here, this here plus this here shows you that it's the same car. And also over, well, it doesn't show up in here, but there's something over in this extreme left. So, this window and this light and the way that this curves in the back, this shows, all these details show it's the same car. So 5 months ago, he had this car. Of course, according to the records that we have, he's had the car for about a year. So this is his, wherever this hotel room was. It came on for about a minute. I don't remember when he made that. But here. All these videos were made in the room. And then this is the first time, this one that was made 5 months ago, is the first time you see him in a car. I haven't been able to find any older videos than this to where he was in a car. So 5 months ago, for whatever reason, is when he started going out in the car. Randy resides about 2 hours from. I'm gonna do something. Randy resides around 2 hours, give or take, from Timothy's County. And let's see, how can I find this? But for whatever reason, Randy Q is not a correct name, by the way. I believe it's Randy L. Erickson. I do believe she's taken her other site down, or blocked it, one or the other, because it's not showing up. She managed to amass 3,000 friends. Let me. There's a really interesting way of finding out where she lives. If I can get this thing to work properly, because somebody was kind enough. Okay. This is funny. Man, where are we at? I'm just trying to find, because there is something that has. This bozo was kind enough to put up. Okay, that's not going to be what I'm looking for. If this is what I think it is, she lives in Grove Heights, Minnesota. Just kind of trying to figure out. Okay, if this works out, Grove Heights, Minnesota, apparently is within the proximity. So that's about as close as I could come to that. I die. Just the usual thing that goes on the Friday night Murtathon. Kirk said tonight that he had something to do with a shutdown in his town, and Chris somehow is involved with Texas. Looks like they both been marathoning a few Q channels. Well, they got to get the source of their fraud from someplace. So. Well, the coffee one was one of the early ones I remember, but in several of these later ones, it's the same shopping center. He just parks the car at a slightly different angle, so it's hard to make out what's in the background. But the people that are electronically monitoring his computer says that he's operating in the same area when he's in the car. And I tried, and then last night I played the video where I made it clear that Timothy and all these other people are under government surveillance. And, one of these days it's going to dawn on them. But I'm going to be doing a lot of screenshotting. I can see that over the next few months. Because I can analyze these photographs. But I was able to prove that the one shot of him with Bill McConnell was taken at their studio in Plum City. That was easy enough to track. And I also showed that he got nowhere near President Trump at the rally in Minnesota that one time. Tim lies about everything, so it's just... All right. Well, moderate extremists, you have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. I'm probably going to close down just a little bit early tonight because not a whole heck of a lot going on. And I'm probably just going to go and I went out and I got the DVD 1917, so I think I'm going to watch that. One thing I'm going to do tomorrow, I think, before I go on the air is I'm going to put a fan in here. I've got a fan. I don't know if it'll create a lot of noise or not, but I got to do something about it's just darn hot in here. I do not have air conditioning in this room. This is an ancient trailer, so, got to work with what I got. The only room that has an air conditioner in it's the bedroom. So I watch all of my movies and TV shows in the bedroom, and I've got to watch Picard, and let's see, the Picard one on-air show, and then 1917 I'm going to watch. So I think I'm going to call this at 11:30 Eastern tonight, and that way you guys, I do appreciate you guys coming in here. If you know anybody that would be willing to come over and simply subscribe to my channel, it would help. Because if they lift the restrictions by the 1st of May, on May 7th, I'll be able to go down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and cover the first of many hearings that Phil McConnell's going to have. That is, if they allow the general public into the courthouse. It just depends on how they work out the virus by then. We may have the virus gone by April or by May 1st, or we may not. So I'll have to go with the flow on that. And if I'm still alive and I haven't caught the damn thing, then I'll be going down there. So we'll see how it goes. So anyway, this is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1. Thank you for showing up. Y'all have a good one.